Yo, what's good? What's good? It's your girl Letchy back up in this thing with you with another episode of Hiphop.info The Podcast. You already know what time it is. Your girl just had her 34th birthday, right? So I'm definitely feeling a year older, feeling a year wiser. What I tell people is I'm at the age of being seasoned, all right? I'm not old, all right? 34 is a definitely great age to be at. You got everything in order. You got munions, you got your own crib, your own car, your own things, and can do what the fuck you want to do. Mm-hmm. So, thank God for another year. Thanks to all my family and friends who came through and showed me mad love, with a lot of gifts, with the Jimmy Choo, with the Chanel scarves and Louis and Gucci watches and things, Definitely appreciate the family and friends that I have. And, the greatest gift of all, my son. I was able to spend mad time with my son for my birthday. And I just love being a mother, He's 5 months now, so time is flying. But, I'm definitely loving being a mother. But let's go ahead and get into this news, get into this hiphop.info news. First, we're going to talk about Diddy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Diddy is a dunzada. All right, he is a dunzada. This nigga is not getting out of jail ever. I don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? They got new charges brought up against him on ex-employees of his for sexual assault and activities where he subdued them into doing, sexually unruly acts. And now there's a new lawsuit out on him for those acts and for those charges. So, I feel like at this point he can go ahead and just chalk it up as to what it is, give the lawyers all of his money, try to fight a good fight. But with all of these charges brought up against you, racketeering, trafficking people, human beings, you know what I'm saying? These type of things are not going to be turned over loosely. So, I think he did a good try with trying to get Jay-Z involved. But as we know, not guilty. Y'all got to feel me. Jigga is back where he's supposed to be. He beat the case. You know what I'm saying? He probably definitely spent mad bread to get this lady to rescind her accusations. Which is cool. You know what I'm saying? She came out and said that none of this stuff was true, that her lawyer actually made her or, talked her into trying to build this case against Jay-Z that was fabricated. So now Jay-Z is trying to countersue her for defamation of character. This is where it's going to get sticky because he knows damn well she don't have no money if she was just trying to do all of this to gain some money from you. But now thinking about it, Jay-Z might be trying to do a double play by paying her and then countersuing to get that money back. But he is definitely risking more accusations coming out on him from different women, from the same woman. So yeah, he might want to play that closely. I felt like he should have just went ahead and deaded the whole thing. I can totally understand the defamation of character, but you beating the case shows that you were in good standings. Now with what you're doing here, you playing the devil's game, buddy. So, I'm just hoping that no more accusations come out on you and that you really get yourself tied into some shit. So, anywho, moving on. Wendy Williams, guys, we're going to have to do something for Wendy because Wendy is going through it. Like, she has this unruly guardianship clause going on right now. And, the facility that she's at is bugging. On one hand, she's saying that she's locked down, can't make no phone calls, can't do any visits, can't leave the place, this and that. I did watch the Wendy Williams story of this being told on TMZ. They didn't really give much information about the legalities of the situation, just letting us know that she's stuck in there, that she can't get out, that she can't do the things that she wants to do. She can't be a socialite like she's been her entire life. So I was hoping and wishing that they would have got into more of the legalistic side of how this shit is playing out with her finances and all of this other stuff that's going on with her money. At one point, they were trying to say that her son was behind this and was actually accessing her money and doing the things that he would like to do with her money while she's locked up in here. One point, they were saying that the ex-husband was taking her money to, build a life with the new family that he created.
What?
Under her nose. I don't know. To me, it's a lot of accusations with this, but the last thing that was being said is that, her niece took her out for dinner over one of the weekends that she was able to visit, and the facility called the police and said that Wendy had been kidnapped.
Surprise!
So, one minute they're saying that she's, free to be sociable and leave the place and come and go as she pleases, and then the next minute she's, being locked down. Accusations of her being kidnapped from the place are happening. So I don't know. The facility costs like $18,000 a month, and Wendy's looking at ASAP Rocky's lawyer to get her free of this guardianship. And she might be barking up the right tree, because as we see, ASAP Rocky beat his case and jumped off the stand to go and hug his wife, as if, this was a life or death situation, which I guess it was for him. You know what I'm saying? He was not guilty of 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm stemming from a 2021 shooting incident with a former friend, ASAP Relly. So this must have been somebody from his camp, and Relly claimed that Rocky shot at him and what grazed his knuckles. Yes, talking about that he took 2 shots at him and grazed his knuckles. Rocky claimed that it was a prop gun used for self-defense within the situation. So if he was convicted, he would have been serving like a 24-year prison sentence for these 2 assault counts against him from Relly. Luckily, this wasn't true. So, you know what I'm saying? Once they found him not guilty, he, he showed his gratefulness and, his grace.
County of Los Angeles. People of the state of California versus Joaquin Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of... Repeat again. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Section B.
It seems that he still has a civil case against him from Efron. So I don't think his legal matters are over quite yet. But him beating this case was a big win for him and his family. Ariana, that's my girl. I love you, girl. So I'm happy that your man is off these charges and is a free man to help you with these babies. You know what I'm saying? To be with his family. So, just keeping him in our prayers. Hopefully, all of his legal situations are over. Or close to being over, and he gets cleared of all charges and be a free man to go ahead and do what he needs to do. It's speculated that he's going to be in a new Spike Lee movie coming up this year. I'm not sure about any new music that he has coming out, but you know what I'm saying, just stay tuned to ASAP Rocky and his deliverance of new artistic expressions. So
they asking me where I've been at, like a hoe has been left out. Let's address it now, I'm still the best out. Don't stress now, rap hoes get your vest out. Little nigga poke your chest out. I'm looking for the biggest dick out. To ride like a Harley Gentile. Freestyle, put your pens down. I make a grown man sit down. Ask about me, I've been around.
Moving on some, deaths to clear up, Rest in peace. R.I.P. to Angie Stone. I don't want to say too much and, speed off the wrong track with this one. Rest in peace to Angie Stone. Allegedly, there's a death conspiracy with her situation here. She was on her way back to Atlanta from the Marshall's Ball in Mobile, Mardi Gras. And the van that she was in flipped over 3 times and then was hit by a big rig, where she was the only one who died within the van. She had her team with her. I guess it was about 7 or 9 other people within the van with her. And she was the only one who died on the scene while everyone else got rushed to the hospital. I guess with bumps and bruises. So, this is kind of sketchy. Allegedly. Let me make sure I say allegedly within all of this right here, because, I don't want to be banned. But, allegedly she was going after Sony for the rights to her music.
Aha.
And, what happens when those things happen, when artists try to get their masters and try to get the rights to their music. It doesn't end well, as we see for Michael Jackson, as we see for Prince, and many others who, just kind of faded off into the black after their career just started or, was ending. It was just never a good ending for the artists who tried to reconcile with the labels for the rights to their music. So allegedly she was in a battle for trying to gain the rights to her music from Sony, and this happened. So they say allegedly she didn't have her seatbelt on when the van was hit by a big rig and flipped over 3 times, but speculations are brewing. And the only thing that I can say is that we have to continue to watch that story closely. And, once again, R.I.P. to Angie Stone. She was a great R&B songstress and gave us plenty of good music for our black men and women. Strong-headed music, and she would truly be missed within the industry. I believe she was coming out with new works, with new music. And this was, just a breathtaking moment to hear that she was gone. So, rest in peace, Angie. She was 64. She has a baby with D'Angelo. Well, he's not a baby anymore. He's a grown man, and he looks nothing like D'Angelo. But that's neither here nor there, and I digress. But she also has a daughter. I think her name's Diamond or Stone or some shit like that. Diamond Stone. So, she looks like her mother. I guess the son kind of took after her mother. I'm sorry, I'm getting calls, emails, all that stuff, so, but anywho, R.I.P. Angie Stone, we love you. And, moving on to another death that was recent, Irv Gotti died at 54, founder of Murder Inc., not Jay-Z, but Ja Rule and Ashanti, that record label that 50 just, tarnished. That's not funny. But, so he passed away recently. What did they say? Yeah, February 5th, while playing poker and eating Chinese food. I mean, what a way to go. It sounded like he, was enjoying his final moments before this stroke happened.
Oh my God.
Maybe he was, having fun, winning, eating an egg roll, won the poker game and got excited, and, with all of that going on, weed, liquor, food, excitement, maybe the stroke happened, and he is no longer with us. According to his brother, he has been battling, case with diabetes, which was related to his health issues within the past few years and whatnot. And his funeral took place in Jamaica, Queens, so they buried a legend. They buried a great man who brought a lot of wonderful music, a new sound to the industry, to the game. He brought, one of my favorite artists, Ashanti. I love her. Ja Rule, you my nigga, murder. So, he definitely did that. So Irv Gotti will definitely be missed within the industry. We're losing a lot of great people within the industry. One of the brothers from Tony passed away. I think it was liver cancer or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Allegedly, I'm not for sure. But he's also gone. Roberta Flack is gone. We have a lot more people within the industry that are gone. The list goes on. So it's a lot of crazy things happening within the industry right now. Making way for these younger heads, making way for these new ones, these newbies, to take charge and really make a name for themselves, because we're losing a lot of heavy hitters within the game that brung extensive, shoes that have to be filled, So rest in peace to Irv. We love you, man. We're going to miss you, And prayers go out to his family and, friends and everybody who attended the funeral. Speculations of him and Jay-Z not being cool. So I'm not sure if Jay-Z went to the funeral or not. But just to give you a little recap, a little history on that, Irv was the producer for Can I Live for Jay-Z, which is one of his biggest songs, one of the songs that I love the most from Jay. But he has an extensive list of songs that I love. But Can I Live is definitely one of my favorites, old school jam. Irv was the producer for that record. And they ended up falling out when Irv tried to sign Nas to his label years back. Knowing that the feud between Jay-Z and Nas, was going on. So he felt that, he should have gave a little more respect to Jay back when that was happening. But, when money calls, a real businessman is going to answer. So, you know what I'm saying? I got love for Nas. I definitely love Jay. And I definitely see the business moves that Irv was trying to make with that, even though, it kind of cut ties with a personal relationship. Business is business, so that is what it is. So I think that is all I have for everybody today with, Hiphop.info the podcast. Check the drip. You know what I'm saying? It's that Tommy Hill. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking, a little hip-hop-ish today. That's just what I do. But, I thank you guys for tuning in. I definitely got merch coming soon. I got some bucket hats on the way. Limited edition bucket hats, so therefore there's not going to be many on stock. I definitely got some shirts coming, merch for the podcast. So, I definitely want you guys to partake in the merch. And definitely donate to the podcast. It's on my Cash App. Go ahead and get that. Check out my website, Letchi Co. It has my catalog. It has videos. It has interviews on there for you to keep up with your girl, Letchi. You know how I do. Still working on the new album. You'll have that by the end of this year. I'm definitely taking my time with it since my plate is very full. As a new mother, still working a wonderful job. I'm still in school. I'm about to get my master's this August. Doing major things, and pumping out this podcast. I'm really trying to make it bigger than what it is. So you guys donate to the cause. Check out my catalog. Buy some of these dope ass albums, exclusive albums, and stay tuned. Stay tuned for much more. For much more.
Anything I need up the pussy tax. Yo, buy the coke up the pussy tax. Get the weed up the pussy tax. New lace front weave up the pussy tax. All a bitch need up the pussy tax. Yo, he love it when the pussy wax. He love it when the pussy wax.